Just one aisle, no emerald aisles. It's emerald aisle. Get it right next time. That's all. Hi, how you doing, guys? There's something happening with the speaker that makes it feel like I'm standing beside myself, whispering into my own ear. I'll try and ignore it. The voices. I was going to talk about tourists tonight, because I've seen a lot of tourists these days. Not so much now, obviously, in the winter, but I work in tourism a bit. And I've noticed that, have you ever noticed that tourists, especially tourist couples here, are continuously arguing? Basically, the only time I ever see a tourist couple here happy is when they're drunk. Basically, all sober tourists are in the middle of an argument, as far as I can tell. I was walking, I see so many of them, I'm starting to see the science behind it. You know, I started to see the kind of like, I was walking down the Strand the other day and I saw this Irish couple. And my ears pricked up because they were Irish, and so am I, and they were having an argument. And they were in what I like to call stage one. There's 3 stages to the tourist argument. And stage 1 is the I told you so stage. And they were smack in the middle of the I told you so stage, and she was like, Now, by the way, the most important thing about these 3 stages is the men and the women in these 3 stages are always doing exactly the opposite thing to each other. Exactly the opposite thing. Watch out for it. So she was like, you know, like just talking, not like, I told you about the hotel now, John. I told you the hotel, didn't I, John? I said it to hotel now. What did I say? What did I say? The first thing I said, I told you so, didn't I? I knew this was going to happen. I knew this was going to happen. I knew this was going to happen. And he was just like, you didn't say it. Breaking up her avalanche of words, just breaking it up every 30 seconds, monosyllabic kind of, I absolutely did say it. How dare you? How dare you? You didn't say it at the hotel. You know, his idea of making a good point, you know, making a really interesting point, is just saying the exact same thing again, but saying it louder. You know, it's like, you didn't say it. I did say it. How dare you say that, John? I did say it. The first thing I said, the first thing is, you didn't say it. You know, the argument's going to the next level and the man closes his eyes. You didn't say it. When men get angry, they speak louder, they speak slower, and they close their eyes. When women get angry, they speak softer, they speak faster, and they open their eyes wider. So I'm just gonna... The first thing I said this morning, John, the first thing I said, which seriously, I knew this was going to happen, I said this was going to... You didn't say it. I absolutely did say it. I did say it. Don't you dare say it. You didn't say it. And there's a third level, it gets surreal. She's basically speaking so fast, she's just hissing. And he's just one long word. We'll go, Anyway, so that's stage 1. And stage 2 is a little bit similar. Stage 2 is what I call the foot stamp stage. The foot stamping stage. Stage 2 is a fascinating one. Stage 1's over. One of them stormed off. In this case, the Irish man, he stormed off. And she walks, she gives a few steps after him, then she stops. She goes, John, get back here, John. Get back here, John. How dare you? John. Like that. It's a weird thing, a foot stamp, isn't it? What are you saying when you do a foot stamp? What exactly are you trying to... What message are you trying to... Did you see the damage I just did to the floor? See the power? Well, that could be you. You're not careful. It's kind of like... a foot stamp's kind of like an angry Charleston. You know the Charleston dance? You know, it's kind of like... You know, she even does the hand like, John, I'm warning you, I'm warning you, John. Sorry about the table. Stage 3, my favourite stage, the explosion. Now, stage 3 happens, people argue on holidays, basically. I haven't even talked about the why. I've showed you the how. The why, people argue on holidays because back home their lives are structured, perfectly organised, set up, everything's just right, and they love that, they're comfortable. They love that kind of structure, you know? Especially Americans, their life's so structured, you know? Come to Barcelona then, it's different language, different currency, different way things are done, everything's just all over the place, they freak out. You ask an average American about their life back home, like, describe your Tuesday to me, it sounds like they're talking about a day in the military. Like, 3:45, Claire's dance classes. 4:55, John is horse riding. 5:45, like, Jesus Christ, will you relax? Fucking hell. You're in Barcelona now, baby. Forget about that, you know. The Barcelona version of your Tuesday is 3:45, we forgot about dance classes. 4:45, are you sure you registered for horse riding if you don't see your name here? 5:45, coffee for 2.5 hours. 8:45, let's skip dinner because coffee turned into wine and we're already drunk. So you get these Americans, they come here. I saw an American couple like that the other day, and they were on the top of Las Ramblas. They were trying to get to Plaza Universitat, and by accident they got on a bus to Zona Universitat. And a 1 hour, 45 minute round trip to come back 50 meters away from the destination. And she just lost it. But the worst of it, she was so distracted and angry, so distracted by what had happened, that her purse got stolen. Now I hate to laugh at this, guys, but it was incredible. First of all, she wouldn't accept. She was so angry she wouldn't accept their purse stolen. You know, someone does that. They're pretending it's not happened. So she just kept opening her bag again, but opening it wider. You know, and looking in looking harder, and then like searching around in the corner of her bag for a purse this size, in amongst the lint and the fluff. You know, in both corners, like 3 or 4 times. She dumped everything out in Plaza Catalunya. She was lifting up pencils, looking for a purse, a massive purse. But that wasn't. But she held it together. She didn't explode. That wasn't what made her explode. Finally, was her husband, because he was standing above her and he was saying the last thing you should say to somebody when they know they've lost something but they're pretending they haven't. He was standing above her and he was saying, "Honey, it's gone." You know, looking to the tourist with a smuggling, it's gone. Jesus Christ. Looking to the tourist with a smuggling, going, "It's gone, honey. It's gone. Yeah, it's gone. Let's face it, it's gone." She, I told you back at the hotel, Daddy, you're being an asshole. I looked around the other tourists. The best thing to look at in this situation, the other tourists, they were so unsympathetic. It was amazing. They were so glad it wasn't them. Basically, they were looking at her like this, and they were just kind of going, "Oh, that was a good one. That was a good one." And then the aftermath, my favourite part is the aftermath. You know, she's kind of determined, as a kind of a fuck you to him, she's like, you know, she's going to have a good holiday anyway, she doesn't care. She storms off a camera with tears streaks on her face, a thin smile, you know, kind of aggressively enjoying herself. You know, I'm going to have a good holiday and I don't give a shit. And he's behind her and he's just giving up. He's just stumbling along with his head thrown back and like, oh, fuck it. They're batting over sandwich boards outside restaurants, you know. You know, 10 minutes before he was like a respected psychiatrist from Manhattan, you know, saying things like, "I'm loving the Gothic streets, honey," and then suddenly he's like, "Oh, fuck." Anyway, there's one other group of tourists I want to talk about before I finish there. It's one of my favourites. Nothing against them because I think they're great, but groups of 8 or 9 English girls that are here for a girls' weekend. You know, what's amazing about them to me is, and it's a compliment, they all talk to each other at exactly the same time. It's incredible. The amount of voices crisscrossing, information being processed, there's no reason to believe that individually any of these girls are particular geniuses, but their hive mind is a miracle. You know, I was in a cafe the other morning to try and enjoy my morning coffee, and 9 of them walked in, and they just sat down beside me. It was just like, you know, it was, "Shall we get back downtown? Shall we get breakfast downtown? Shall we get dinner? He's cute, isn't he? Very cute. Get a sandwich. You're hungry. That's what we sit at the bar. Shall it's cold here. It's warm here. You don't want to get some wine, Joe?" Did you get any of that? What the fuck was? It was like listening to 9 computers communicate. 9 computers all called Sharon, apparently. No, sorry, I'm wrong. 8 of them are Sharon. One of them was definitely called Jennifer. Why is it when English girls say the word Jennifer, it always sounds like they're playing the low notes on a panpipe? Jennifer. Jennifer. You know, those guys are saying those metros with the ponchos going, Jennifer. Anyway, just before I finish, I'm going to do Irish people, because otherwise it'll sound like I'm racist, but a large group of Irish men, a little bit different to a large group of English men, a little bit more subtle. Large group of Irishmen on holidays, you walk past them, they're all like, actually, you know what? Before I go into Irish, I'm going to do Englishmen because I have to, because this is one of my favourites. Group of Englishmen together. They all talk at the same time, like English women, all exactly the time, except the difference is they're all saying exactly the same thing. So you should be able to hear them. You should be able to hear them, right? But you can't make out what they're saying, even though there's 10 men shouting in your face the same thing, yet I can't hear it. It's weird, it's kind of like, it's like walking past a school for the deaf. And Irish men, much softer, much subtler. Irish men on holidays in Barcelona, group them at the bar, you know, it's like, marvellous, marvellous weather, shorts, absolutely fabulous, fabulous, it's wonderful, beautiful day, absolutely, marvellous. That's it. And the last thing I'll finish on, and this is a bit personal to me, so nobody will probably get it. Actually, half the room is Irish, so they will. My accent, where I'm from, of the town I'm from, is Waterford. It's so particular, I wanted to tell you about it very quickly. It sounds like you're springing a ruler on the side of a desk. You know, they go, that's literally a Waterford accent. We have this construct, J-E-V-E-R, Jever. It's a word that basically means, did you ever, crushed into one word. And we use it at the beginning of every clause, in every sentence, even in the middle of sentences, we'll throw it back in. So someone from Waterford is kind of like, did you ever see a man going down over there? Did you ever see him? Did you ever see the one about it? Did you ever see that? Did you, Jever? Did you ever see a man? Sounds like a fucking banjo. You know what I mean? Did you ever see a man going down over there? I'll finish on that, guys. Thank you very much.